think April. I don't know where April is during the fixer. So I think April in the bedroom. April and I were in the bed. Nick and Kayla were fighting. There was always drama. I always described the relationship between the four of us as we went from disaster to disaster, drama to drama. It was an intensely frustrating, stressful place to be. And I think it's because three people were on coke and one of them most of the time wasn't. And that's a frustrating spot to be for me. So Nick and Kayla are shouting, screaming at each other. I mean, frighteningly. They would have these knockdown dragouts. I mean, just nasty fights. Some of them would end with Nick walking around hitting himself in the head like a fucking ape. This one in specific, Nick and Kayla are yelling at each other. Nick comes storming out of the bathroom. I hear Kayla crying. Nick points at me. This really upset me. Nick pointed at me and he goes, "Go in there and fix her."
What did he mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Go in there and fix her.
Whoa.
So I go in there and she's on the floor crying, basically in a ball crying. And I comfort her and I talk to her a little bit. And it's just, I mean, I don't know the specific conversation because these all run into each other. A variation on, you know, he's gaslighting me. I'm so frustrated. Nobody understands me. Nobody can see me. Nobody can hear me. That's how we got close, is one of the things she would always say to me. And I would say to her, she would look at me as she wouldn't want to talk about what was wrong. And I would start going, well, is it this? Is it, I understand maybe you feel this way, blah, blah. And she would look at me with tears in her eyes. She would go, "You speak my thoughts." And that would touch me. That really, like, I'm not, like, you guys are going to find, I'm not some fucking monster who's here to just rat people out.
Oh, obviously
This
not.
touched me. This meant something.
Yeah.
So in the fix her thing, I go in there, I talk to her, and it's just they're fighting. And then Nick comes back in and they start yelling at each other again. Now I'm in between the two of them. This is remarkably uncomfortable. I'm not high. They're high, or at least he's high. And they just start fighting. Literally, I'm in between the two of them. Kayla leaves. Nick pours out the two biggest fucking rails of coke I've ever seen in my life. And granted, I haven't seen that much, but bigger than what they usually get. And just rips them back to back. To the point, now he and I were still friends at this point. Literally stopped, put my hand on his shoulder. I said, "Buddy, are you sure that's okay?" Because he had just done some before that. I said, "Buddy, are you sure that's all right? I don't want your fucking heart to explode in the fucking bathroom here." Nick always had this way of WebMDing his shit to explain it away. He would go, "No, well, what you don't understand is no matter how much I'm doing right now, it doesn't get me more high. It takes time for it to process and come down." And I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a stimulant supercharging the fuck out of your heart and you dropping dead. Like, no, it's fine.
Was he actually showing you shit online? Was he actually showing you stuff online?
No, he had an encyclopedia of bullshit.
So he acted I already looked at this up. I searched this already.
One time I asked him, because this was late. This was probably a week or two before I bailed. I confronted him. I said, "Dude, I know her and I aren't on the best of terms right now." This is when she was out. I was ready to file, like, just about over. Like, April and I had crossed the Rubicon already. There was no going back. But I did still care. And I'm like, "Dude, she's doing a lot. It's like every day. And you guys are drinking a lot." Like, even Kayla came to me once and she said, "Aaron, you need to talk to Nick or April because our liquor bottles are disappearing very quickly around this house." I said, "Okay, talk about it." I talked to Nick. I go, and I didn't really want to talk about the booze. I was more concerned about the coke. That's what scared the shit out of me. And I said, "The cocaine use, dude. Let's talk about it because it's not good. We need to cut back on that shit a little bit." And he gave me this reason. He said, "Well, Aaron, what you don't understand is, understand how, like, people with ADHD, the stimulants they take allow them to pay attention better because their attention span goes up like this with the stimulant. And it meets their demand for the, So he says about cocaine, he goes, "Well, Aaron, you see, sometimes our minds can only handle this much stress. But we have this much stress. So when I do cocaine, it elevates my body's ability to deal with stress to here, so I can then deal with the stress I face." And I remember just going to him, I go, "That's total bullshit."
What was the stress? What was the stress that what was he mentioning? Like, what was the stress?
Andy,
the kids?
what you don't understand is this man was streaming at that point 1 or 2 days a week.
Okay.
He had a trust fund.
Yeah.
And that's very stressful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Life's tough, bud. Life's tough.
I want to ask.
There were some times with Nick where, as the son of a fucking baker and a lunch lady, I was like, you entitled cunt. Like, just fucking man up and handle your shit.
Yeah.
Like,
so I got to ask, like, what, because you were there a lot or a fair amount. What is like a day in the life of Rekieta? Like, is he mostly high, like, all the time?
I can tell you what I saw from time to time. Again, everything I'm telling you, I don't want to get into speculation. Everything I'm going to tell
whatever
you guys,
saw, whatever
is firsthand. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks.
While I too, again, let's remember, while I too was being a degenerate, going outside of his marriage, scandalizing his relationship, scandalizing his children, all of these terrible things, being a bad father, being a bad husband. But a day in the life was this. I would get up. I'm an early riser. I do a morning show. I would get up on a weekend, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I would just sit and stare at 3 passed out people.
Oh,
That's it.
I would just go, all right, what are we going to do? I'd go take a shower or something. We'd kill some time. And then I kind of wake everybody up like, hey, can I go get breakfast? I remember one common thing with this relationship was that I was the one who was always going, hey, can we go do some shit? Hey, can I go get this? Can I go to... I was
You
restless.
fed the kids, right? You fed them
to get out of the fucking house and do some shit.
Wait. Where were the kids during all this, by the way?
They would wake up later, but they would still come and knock on the bedroom door.
Whoa.
By the way, we slept 4 of us to a bed.
What the?
Like, we all slept in the same bed.
Yeah,
I would sleep with Kayla. Nick would sleep with April.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the sleeping arrangement.
That was the sleeping arrangement. Was April and I on the ends, Nick over by April, Kayla over by me. So sometimes in the morning, the kids would knock on the door and say either I'm hungry or this or that. I would say more times than not, I would go out and I would get them some food, something like that, because everyone else got up a little later than I did. Then there would be times where there would be fighting in the bedroom, or, you know, people were doing whatever they were doing in the bathroom and someone would want something, and I would, more often than not, it was usually me who went and got it.
Wow.
I was just not into, like I said on my show, I did coke 3, maybe 4 times in total the entire time. Probably 4 lines, 4 bumps in total the whole time I was there. I did develop an affinity for Molly. It just seemed I wouldn't drink.
Pills
and I would
or powder?
I hate powder. I hate it. One time they had me do the licking thing.
The licking thing, yeah.
Like,
you wanted more control.
Yeah, I had Nick use papers and wrap it in like pill form, and I would take it that way. I preferred it that way. And what I would do is I just wouldn't drink that night. I'd pound water and Gatorade, and I would chill because everything was so dramatic and everything else. I would have fun. I would enjoy myself.
Yeah.
But I'd still realize, holy shit, dude, you're 37 years old and you're a father of 3. Cut the fucking shit. So after about half a dozen times of that, done with that too.